Hey everyone, we're back. Oh wow, it's a special weather right now called Royal Leven. This usually means that Curl Regina, a boss, has spawned. World boss. I'm fairly certain she spawns. What? Teleporting me over here. Behemoth of the Travanian Forlands with 37. I don't think it's Behemoth, but hang on, I will show you guys Pearl Regina. So this is a world boss fate. It doesn't appear on the map. You gotta actually find it when the weather turns a certain way. And that weather is Royal Leven. That's what we're seeing right now. And there she is. This is a world boss. And she gets torn from the heavens for her music. Very cool. Okay. Anyway, we're not gonna fight it because I don't really care. You do get some horns for defeating her that you can turn in for loot, but you need a couple of them, so. Amuses you how many people are just there. Oh, also, hi, Zane. Hey there, Vidofnir. I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, I know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard. My thanks, Vidofnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings to you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Noth, has been laid low. Truly, once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kin did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Would that we could take credit. The god befell by another's hand. Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Noth will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation? As promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot, until the child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth, she wrapped herself in a dream, yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed, and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have a faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe. Such is the folly and the glory of man and dragon. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Then you accept Sir Aymeric's invitation? Let it be known that I, Vidofnir, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer, and I will convey your words to our allies without delay. It is happening, Assail. Would that you were here to see it. He always loses his frigates, eventually.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Aymeric was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men, who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men, whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
No, I don't. They are lost. Well, that's less than ideal. We leave for 1 minute and Aymeric goes and gets stabbed. Yeah, I didn't say it was incorrect. He called me when he didn't need me, Koopa. I think he had a lot of ass quotes. Right, let's not keep Sir Aymeric waiting. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes, quite. Well, forgive me. You have given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Asgardians and the Dravanians, and our friend is nowhere to be found. It would seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time, we will find Ida Pepalimo and Midfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will look back on together. Pray, do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphant moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that we will make many more glorious victories soon enough, and you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation. Say, when was the last time you went to the congregation? Well, that's unfortunate. This guy's name is Firm Albert. You have returned! In this, at least the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Vidofnir has accepted Sir Aymeric invitation. She has? These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Is he otherwise engaged? Aye, sleeping off a knife to the gut. What? What happened? Will he live? The Chirurgeons tell me he will make a full recovery, but Lord Edmund and Lord Artoriel had not been on hand when the assassin struck. He would not have been so fortunate. For mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land the telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flames. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been doused in the fires, but everyone we put out, it seems like 2 more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the Broom. It's plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. Probably 2018 when you actually did these quests. Ooh. We get a primal accessories fending coffer. Or a slaying coffer. Well, neither of those are useful to us, so I guess we'll take the fending one for my tank. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise locations where the fires were set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we've yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city in both the pillars and foundations. Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it best to divide our forces. Master Alphino, Mistress Sistola, I would have you take charge of the investigation in Foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Tataru can be of assistance as well. Meaning Miro and me get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Tancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and may I say what a pleasure it is to meet you too, my lady. I'll bet. The name's Hilda, a scion, eh? And there I was thinking I found a fellow ruffian amongst all these illustrious personages. I will remain here to coordinate the fire quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray, inform me immediately. That is all. Hey look, Ishgard's on fire again. You say kill them all? Well, we could begin by sifting through the charred rubble and questioning random passerby. In my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Oh, aye, the infamous Lord Amenel and de Fortin. Lover of women and wine, though neither care for him that much. They say he could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Miro. He'll be at the crosshair, most like, making an effort to be seen. So let's go and see him. Grizzled I will accept, but old? Huh. Tancred, I want to point out that you're wearing a choker. Saying, are you here on hard times? Hey there, Madeline. It's here with honor way. Well, if it isn't Miro, dearest of all my friends. You're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old girl? Ah, yes, the arsons. Dreadful business, that. And awfully curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of those other houses. We can't have the old pile going up in flames, after all. Oh, in case you're wondering why the Hoplon is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been open to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Aymeric's orders, from what I hear, remarkable man. Not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old girl, if you were thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hoplon. While you conduct your inquiries, I would offer words of comfort to distressed and despondent young maidens. Wait a moment. I know what that is. You're giving me one of your looks, aren't you? You did me an injustice, old girl. I will have you know, my heart yearns for what but one rose, prickly though she may be. I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well. If it will help to prove the purity of my intentions, I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I had hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees in the Hoplon, Miro, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? You know what? I reckon I would. Can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You'd only get robbed, blind, and left shivering in your small clothes. Okay. I remember when Engage was robbed and then left shivering in his small clothes when he went to Alaska for the first time. Come, my brothers and sisters, there's food and shelter, enough for all in the Basilica. Alone's blessing upon you, Father. I confess, we were not sure if we should come. There are so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop, Sir Aymeric, and the Duranians. Trust in your heart, brother. Pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Do you require succor as well, miss? So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good. This madness has gone on for far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell, and may the Fury guide your steps. Him? He's the snake. You think so? The doctor that gave birth to you robbed you, yes. They gave you a blanket, wrapped you in it, and then took it away. Meerkat, you okay over there? Yeah, she's fine. She's just passed out. There was a man with a satchel. I saw him kneeling outside the window, and then there was smoke everywhere. It was so hot, and I couldn't breathe. Oops. He looks guilty? Could be. Could be. Unruffled refugee. She's unruffled. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire began. Oops. I don't know why it double-clicked on me there again. We all know folks that look guilty are always guilty. That's true. Piamet always looks guilty, and she's always guilty. Happens every time. Thinker, why do you gotta be in the most inconvenient place? You could have picked anywhere to stand in all of Ishgard, and it probably would have been better than this spot. Oh, there you are. Anything to share? We require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we were to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near St. Raymond's Cathedral and another near the Tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Others might question how such relentlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on the two occasions when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give me one cause to wonder. Alphanil will doubtless have an opinion. Engage, would you date someone who is guilty? Vector would date someone who was guilty of Piamet. The same would also date somebody who is guilty of consorting with Piamet. And then there's Piamet, who's guilty of just being Piamet. Hussein, would you drive a Buick? Oh, they have someone. Your first car was a Buick? Did it blow up before you could drive it? Silence will avail you not, sir. Ah, Miro. I was about to summon you. As you can see, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words, he did not, so we insisted. Let me go, damn it! You got the wrong man! My, but you reek of oil! And are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose, but tell me, does arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile! Look at me! I bet you are, after a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about how his pet mongrel slipped the leash and set about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you, but then these highborn types really do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you Rabbit and begged us to put you down. That's Bullocks. He's the one who told me to keep going. Even a sinner such as me could find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I'd left it behind. Tried to, with all my heart. Said my prayers every day, like a good man. But he came to me. He came to me. And there you have it. Hilda, would you be so kind as to escort our friend here to the congregation? Aye, so long as you don't mind he's limping when he gets there. That was incredible, Thancred, but how did you know he would confess? Well, I have seen his like before, a troubled soul manipulated by men of power and wielded as a weapon. I could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. And if our captive had called your bluff? Must we be entertained hypotheticals? The world is, as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it best we return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. So, who do you guys think are the ones orchestrating the arsons? If I had to guess, I would say it's Vector. Vector's the one burning down all of Ishgard. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak. Though he fell silent upon realizing we had not turned his master, he will soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Because that was my investigation. I had to find out who did it. Pardon the intrusion, Press Commander. Ah, Lord Artorio. Are you to come see your father? He is attending Sir Aymeric in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring the salve. Then do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. You gonna set me on fire? Rude. My Lord Artorial did not seem to be in the best of spirits. His little wonder mouse Alphanal. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. I think that's fine. Alright. As goes light, so goes darkness. We're gonna get a shield here if you want to use it. A wind-up Horshaphon. What isn't dead or is recreated in Goldsmith's workshop can never die.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
Lord Commander,
An armed mob has seized control of the vault.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
Ridiculous! I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Aymeric would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Of course.
We are in your debt.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms, then, friends. Time is against us.
In case you guys are wondering, we've already reached the end of the first patch after Heaven's Ward. This is the last quest for that. We're gonna take a break before we do it, but this will lead us into the second patch. Alright. You fucking called it. Indeed you did, Tengage. But don't worry, you get to see how it all ends here shortly. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we will do this mission here. As you can tell, it's lit up. Don't go anywhere.